been wanting to go to Dubai.
Open it up. Yeah, read it.
What is this?
You know what it is? I just want you to know that I know. Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Why did you do this tonight out of all nights? Why?
Because I wanted you to know that I know Nevaeh is not mine. Your daughter had to the end of the month to get out of my house.
But that's
Kelly.
your daughter.
It's not my daughter, Kelly.
Yes, it is.
The paperwork says it's not my daughter.
Why would you do this?
I am not the father.
No.
Hi, you guys. So I see there's a lot of conversation about this. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 of a husband confronting his wife about a DNA test of one of, maybe it's just one child. I'm not sure if there's other children involved. And, in this day and age, I really wouldn't play with these guys like that. It's a lot of unhealthy mindsets out here, and I really shouldn't even laugh about that, but because I'm not trying to be funny or mean about it, there's a lot of unhealthy mindsets out here. It's probably not a good idea to play with people about stuff like that. And I know some people feel like, oh, it's a child, everyone should love a child, but you should not expect the same reaction that you would have to things from other people. Right, you guys get what I'm saying? I mean, and to be honest, let me know in the comments, how would you handle something like this? I'm not asking if you've been through it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of things like this before, because this is not the first time that I've heard of situations like this. To be honest, a few of them I've heard it. It's definitely a common thing. I'm just saying the climate that a lot of you see with, look at the guy who just, put the knife in the lady's head, and, they have 6 children, and all 6 children are his kids. People are not well out here. And so I think honesty is the best policy. Now, I don't really know what the situation is with her. Maybe she got involved with someone else during this marriage and this child came about, or she was pregnant when she started dating him, and then she just told him she was pregnant along the way. Some women get what I'm saying when I say that, and some people don't. Some people get what I'm saying. Because, obviously women are pregnant at X amount of time before they start showing. And so a woman could be pregnant and start dating someone and not inform that person that she's pregnant. Or maybe she don't know. And then she just feel like it's the person she's dating. And it's really not. But I do know of situations that like that. I just feel like today I wouldn't play with these folks, because it sounds real crazy out here right now. People throwing people out windows, killing the whole family and killing themselves. It's a lot going on. Now, to my understanding, Mob Radio, I don't know if she was talking about this exact video, but for whatever reason, she revealed, and this is allegedly, because I'm looking for the video and I can't find the video. So I don't know if this YouTuber is making this up because maybe they don't get along, or if this was a real story. I understand she has some other platforms. She has a podcast. So it's possible she said it on her podcast and not here on YouTube. But the other YouTuber, so this is allegedly, is saying that she told her husband that her oldest child was his. And I guess they may have been dating at the time before they got married. And later on, as some years went on, she told him the truth. She said that at the time, her and her husband were just dating. But even in that state of just dating, he was a better fit for her child. And that's what I'm saying. I have heard stories like that. People are going to pick the man that they feel is going to step up and be a man and be a father, because all these men are not created equal out here, and we get that. even though we're wasting our energy and wasting our time on them, they're not worth that, and we know it, and we still do it anyway, and these things happen. But then you want to go to the guy that you know is responsible and that will take care of their child and tell that person that they are the father. And so it sounds like the YouTuber, the person, I'm not going to say who was saying it, but if she come over here, then I'm going to have to put the person out there that said that she said this. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. I don't see the video on her YouTube page, and it's possible she could have shared the story within one of these other videos. You know, if you don't see things in the title, it's impossible to know everything the person is talking about in the video, because we can bring up anything while we're in the middle of talking. So I don't know which video it is, and I'm not going to sit there and go through all those videos just to find that. But people have done this in life. I do know that. This is why women try to impress upon their sons, nephews, whomever, to get blood tests. You know, you should get the DNA test when someone is informing you that they're pregnant, even if you believe, you know, that the child is yours based on her just coming to inform you. I'm not saying that you should not trust that person, but you should always just get the DNA test as well, right? And especially if you're not married to the person. Now, if you're someone's husband, then yeah, I mean, obviously you don't feel like that's necessary, but you would be surprised at how many people who are in marriages who do this as well, because sometimes people are separated and they go off and do other things, and things can happen, and then they end up getting back with their husband. So it's stories out here like that. I'm sure you guys have heard them, but how would you handle this situation? If you were a man, how would you handle it if you find something out like this? And I would think, I'm not a man, but I would think for men, especially if you are financially supporting that person and that child, you would feel a way, right? Not only financially, but emotionally, you're tied to the child, right? You really believing that that's your child. And I'm sure that probably trips people up within itself, right? Forget everything else. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about this story in the comments. Would you have handled that situation the way he's handling it? And like I said, everybody's built different. You know, there are some men who are going to handle that situation with violence, right? So you might not want to play with everybody like that. Like, that's why I'm saying that. But let me know what you guys would do if you were put in that position, with someone coming to you and saying, you deciding to do a DNA test, and for whatever reason, because sometimes I feel like people might know, because some people's genes are just strong, and you just kind of know, when they don't have that certain look to them. And then, I mean, depending on who you have in a child with, sometimes the kids are not going to, the genes, or some other people's genes are going to overpower, or, yours or your family's. But sometimes people know. They do. They can tell. And sometimes they can't. Or sometimes they just don't want to believe things like that, right? I know I was reading recently that Maria, and there was married to Arnold Schwarzenegger, in her memoir or an article. I believe it's an article. It may not have been a memoir, but she was writing about finding out about Arnold having the other son, and she said she knew. She said that she knew. She could, obviously the little boy looked like him anyway, but she had that feeling that it was his child long before she confronted, because she confronted both of them. This is what she said in the article. She confronted both of them about it, and that's how she found out. But deep down, she had already knew that the son belonged to Arnold Schwarzenegger, just based, I guess, on the way he looks. He in fact looked like him, to be honest. But let me know what you guys think about stuff like this. How would you handle it? Would you put the lady and the child out? if you're a guy, or as a woman, how would you handle explaining why you would do something like that? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.